This week on the Camo Life, David and Tina travel to the high country of Montana to try their hand at some extreme bear hunting with Mark Shutey, owner of Stockton Outfitters. Now, we say extreme bear hunting because all of the action is going to be face-to-face on the ground as they try to lure a big old bruin into shooting range using a predator call. So stay right there because you're not going to want to miss this.
Stockton Outfitters is established here in southwestern Montana primarily as a deer, elk, and black bear hunting outfit. We do offer some special permit opportunities for antelope, moose, things of that nature. That's on a draw basis. My goal and the goal of my guides and my outfit is to provide a quality experience which basically pushes the hunter to the maximum limit of his potential. Again, this is a free chase hunt. All these animals are wild. They're out there and we've got a lot of country to hunt them in. We've got over 100,000 acres. So we push people. Now, I'm not going to tell you we're going to push you past your limit and leave you up on the mountain, but we push people to their limit in each adventure. Now, obviously, there's no guarantees, but we do work very hard at what we do. The gentleman actually that I acquired this business from and worked for previously introduced me to calling. Basically, I've taken it a few steps beyond that and made it a mainstay for the business, trained my guys to get it done. Originally, we used just an elk calf call. Just last year's reed, we'd stick it in the mouth and scream and scream and scream like a coyote had a hold of my leg. And then you panic, you scream, you call for mom, you bark and chirp, and by God, it got the interest of the bears coming in. It's a lot of fun, you know, and obviously it's something that people shouldn't be afraid to try. It's something you have to respect when you're calling a bear. Always respect the bear. Even a small bear could probably take your leg off. Respect the bear for who he is and what he is, but don't be afraid to get out there and give it a try. Sizing a bear is a little bit different to begin with. In different parts of the country, they stick them up on a pole and weigh them. In my country, we're usually a mile, 2-3 miles back in there somewhere. Packing out a 300 to 400 pound bear on your shoulders doesn't always work. Now, David could probably do it, but you know, I can't always do that. The size of a bear, or the size that we use out here in Montana, is the square of a bear. And basically, to attain that square, you measure from the nose to the tail on a bear, and then front paw to front paw. So right along here, across the front, nose to tail. You take those two measures, add them together, divide by 2, that'll give you your square footage. This year, our spring hasn't quite shown up yet. The grass isn't green. Some of these bears are still sleeping. The elk haven't moved back all the way from their wintering grounds yet. So we're dealing with some different elements that, you know, weather something that year to year is a little bit different. So we're going to use some smaller game calls. We're going to try some cub bear and distress calls and see how that works for us. It's a really, really neat experience. It provides a lot of adrenaline before the kill, after the kill, during the kill. Sometimes the adrenaline that comes along with the bear coming to a call is a little too much for a hunter, and sometimes things get away from us. But it's a lot of fun, you know, and obviously it's something that people shouldn't be afraid to try. Here's our plan of attack. We're going to take it nice and slow, 20-30 steps looking around, right on this creek bottom here. Now this grass, as you notice, compared to the rest of the area, is a little bit greener than the rest of it. So these bears, there's some springs up here up top. And what we're doing is waiting for these bears to come out of this timber and come down, but we're going to creep our way all the way up in there, find a nice spot to sit by those springs, plant ourselves down, and then we'll start doing some calling about 7:30, guys. Okay. So nice and easy, real slow, and if I stop, you stop. All right.
Tell you what, hunting something that can eat you has a distinctly different feel to it.
On our first encounter, it was the first hour, first 15 minutes into the woods. And quite frankly, we're creeping in slow, taking our time, looking around, and I don't think anybody expected 150 yards down the trail for that big old black bruiser to be walking on the same trail we were walking on.
Bang, bang, bang.
ain't got him yet.
About 30 yards. He's kind of going about that way.
Was he running?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't know, he was trotting a little bit.
I didn't get to see it, but we took about 50 more paces, and there's a big old pile of fresh scat. Looks like it came from about a 250 to 300 pound bear.
That's a big bear, boys. That's a good bear. That's a shooter. There's walking in front of us coming down from me.
You know, we know that there's a bear in this area, and we're gonna hit this not only the first night, but we're also gonna hit this throughout our hunt. We went to an area that we knew had a couple of bears in it. We you know, seen the sign in the tracks, and sat there, we waited, we glassed, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there he is. Now there's a bear right there, right side of the water tank. You can just see his back, just over that sagebrush.
Yeah, I see him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Let's see if he stops. If he stops, we'll slide up and get him.
He looked pretty big.
Ain't not bad at all. Hey, he's heading into those timber. He's walking right past her.
Yeah, he's going in the woods.
He's going in. He's gonna come back out. We're looking up that hill, and we're gonna wait and watch and see what this guy was gonna do, because quite frankly, it was about 1,800 feet straight up. And so we sat there and we waited, we watched, and we waited, and we watched, and by God, that guy settled in some trees up there, and we decided to make the voyage up the mountain. So why don't we go ahead and slide on up that hill? It's a nice little tiny hill for us to climb up, nice and level. Nestle up in those trees up above that water tank in there. We'll just kind of sit there and spend the rest of the day, see if we can get him to come back out. Now there's a bear right there, right side of the water tank. You can just see his back, just over that sagebrush.
Yeah, I see him.
You got him?
Yeah. He looked pretty big.
Ain't not bad at all. Hey, he's heading into those timber. He's walking right past her. So why don't we go ahead and slide on up that hill? It's a nice little tiny hill for us to climb up. Now we do have a storm coming in. It's nice overcast today, kind of cool. So hopefully the storm doesn't hit us and wreck us.
It's gonna take a little while to get up there on top of there.
It's gonna be a sweat. Don't dress heavy. We decided to make the voyage up the mountain. So we took a nice course and grabbed another lane on the side of them, kind of circled our way up and circled on top of where that bear was at. And we sat down out there, and of course we were hoping just to see him. But we set up at that area and we started calling. I hit that rabbit call. And I hit it the first time, and nothing really happened, but I hit it the second time, and Tina got ready and saw that bear bust out of the trees, and you know, it happened real quick. It did happen real quick, but that bear came running in, and I think we all sat back and went, okay, he's gonna come up on this ledge. He's gonna come up on this ledge, and by God, he never did come up on that ledge. What had happened is we had the wind away from where he came out, but the wind was going right down that side of that ledge. So I believe the bear was circling in to see what we were, get a smell, and before he came up to where we could get that shot, you know, he blew out.
He went that way.
Did he come up towards us at all?
No, he runs straight that way.
He's trying to get a wind. But we live, we learn, and we hunt another day. We didn't get that bear up on top of the mountains up there at 8,500 feet, but we knew from our work the day or two before and David's fine eyeball that we had a good bear. So we worked our way back into where David had seen that bear that first night, and we found all that fine sign. Obviously, we set Tina up where she had a great shooting alley and a great view. David and I went up a little bit higher. We got a little different angle and looked at some different country. We sat down and we weren't there very long, but then that old boy walked out. He stepped out and there he was. He's working his way back. You know, crossing that open, just kind of lumbering along, wasn't stopping for anything, wasn't doing anything, and we kind of wanted to know what he was doing. You know, David and I are sitting there watching him, and Tina's watching him, and we're ready, and by God, it looked like he's just crossing and gonna go straight up the hill in the timber. At which point in time, it was time to do something. So we pulled out that rabbit call, and I hit it. We lit it up. By God, that bear came. And I called again, and he was very intent looking. I called again, he was intent looking, and we let him relax a little bit. But once he relaxed, he stepped over that log and just kind of started basically circling on David and myself. But as luck would have it, he happened to circle and circle and circle about 70 yards right in front of Tina and step out of that timber.
I didn't have you over, Tina. Next time you got a shot, you take it.
Okay. That wind, it blew right into him.
As luck would have it, Shiny First still walking, but he'll be there for somebody to hunt next time.